Okay, let's go. All right. So today we're going to talk about the Home for the Holidays gift basket giveaway that I did. And basically, it got me 87 leads in 15 days. And I'm super excited just to share what I did and how I did it and kind of give you some tips and tricks on how you can do this in your business too. So I'm Corey Perez, and basically this started as a way to spread holiday cheer and kind of it definitely was a way to get leads as well. But it started off with the holiday cheer, but it had kind of that extra oomph behind it. I've done gift basket giveaways in the past. I've always done them at like street fairs or for holidays and things. And this year I decided I was like, okay, I'm going to do this virtually and see what I get because normally I do it at like 1 day events. And most of the time I get around 30% of the people telling me that they want more information about buying or selling and that sort of thing. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to go out and go to any like bazaars or anything this year. I just kind of want to keep it, I don't know, comfortable for me. And so I did this gift basket giveaway and it was just so exciting. So we're going to get into that, but I wanted to ask you, what is the most creative way you've ever gotten a lead?
I think for me, like I recently did a challenge as well, and I think it's important for me to know that it's going to be transformational because of the work that I do. But I just did one for 12 days in my group, and I ended up getting 40 leads, which was really good. Now, some of them were already in the group, but they were very engaged, and so I was able to turn that over into some sales.
Mhm.
And I find like those challenges somehow too, like the 7 day or the 12 day, especially at the holiday time, are very helpful, which you think people would be really running around crazy and not wanting to participate. But I think they get excited about the gift giving.
Right, right. I love that so much. I love that so much. It's so cool to see like how you can bring people in. For me, it almost feels like a game sometimes, and that's the part that excites me, I guess, the most.
I've had like it's so funny that you said that too because I did a peace challenge, a 7 day inner peace challenge, and I also got 30 from that. But if I do like a workshop, I don't always get the same numbers.
Right.
So there's something about I think that it's live, they don't have to show up, that they can come to the replay, perhaps, and at least that's my experience where that gets some traction. But I'm
I
excited to see what you have to share.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. I have pages of notes, so if I'm looking over to the side, you'll have to forgive me.
No worries. You
I
don't
don't
have it all memorized? What?
I know, right? Okay, so basically we're gonna go through kind of the step-by-step process so that you can easily replicate or, at least get the idea, the general idea, and I'm happy to help more as you go on. So, basically, we're going to cover the lead generation giveaways. We're going to talk about the system and then follow up to kind of warm up the leads. Um, for for me, I believe that lead generation is the backbone of most businesses, and so I feel that it's the most important or one of the most important things that we can do for our business. So, let's talk a little bit about the actual gift basket that I gave away. And for me, it was important to kind of keep it local because I was wanting to attract local people for this particular giveaway. And so it was like local wines, cheeses, gift cards, things from local businesses that they were all small businesses. And I just really wanted them to kind of participate and grow community through that. And so it was really cool because I felt like it appealed to my audience because it was local. And so it attracted more local people for me. Um, I really focused on Facebook. I'm not huge on Instagram. Like I have an Instagram, but it's not my main source. So Facebook, I didn't do ads or anything like that. I mostly posted in um like my local buy sell trade Facebook groups, on my Facebook page, in other groups, community groups and things like that. I'm gonna share my screen and find my post so you can kind of see what I did there too, just as kind of an overview. Um, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. I can't. Where'd it go?
Like,
There it is. Okay. So, well, now I have to move everything a little bit. Oh, well, can you still see it?
mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically what I did was every day I pretty much involved each of the companies that were donating, and in this round I did basically I offered to participate with each of the businesses that kind of cross promoting each other. And so it was really cool to see the businesses who were excited to participate as well, because it got them more exposure also. So I'm one who's very afraid of asking for help. And so this is the first time that I really did that. And I was so surprised. I ended up having 22 different businesses participate.
Wow.
And it was just it was really cool because like I said, I never ask for help. So it was really neat. So on the bottom, I had just my Google form, and we'll get into that as well. But I just had basically all of the people who were participating and then how to enter and then kind of the rules I put right there in that post. Okay. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I'm just
Okay,
making notes as you go along.
no worries. Okay. Um, well, now I can't unshare. What is happening? You are screen sharing. I'd like to stop that now. Okay, whatever. I think it doesn't even give me the option to close it now.
Well, that's fun. I love how Zoom's always changing.
Right, there we go. Okay, did it stop?
Yep.
Okay, good. I know. I'm like, okay, that's fun. Okay, so anyway, so what I ended up having was 254 entries. And the way that I kind of laid this out, I knew that I was looking for first-time home buyers or not first time, but or home sellers. I mainly focus on first-time home buyers. So I was really like I on my entry form, I had a lot of different options for them to kind of self-select and kind of opt in to a bunch of different things. So
What do
with
you mean opt in?
I
To
I'm gonna share that
oh,
right now. No worries, no worries. So for first-time home buyers, I had, and actually I made a whole little thing for this. Okay. I had like a first-time home buyer cheat sheet. I had information about foreclosures and house hacking and like off-market sale or off-market properties. I had a thing that they could ask just for more information about buying a house. And then the last one was like, where do I even start? And then for home sellers, I had like a thing about selling your home, getting the home value. And then also for me, home sellers often are buyers too. So they were kind of willing to select from
mhm.
those options as well. So the way that I did this is I used Google Forms, and basically I thought it let me back up one step. I I have a really hard time with anxiety, and so it's hard for me to kind of reach out to a bunch of people that I don't know. I've always just kind of had an aversion to that. So my goal was to get them to raise their hand and kind of do that self-selection and say, okay, I'm interested in this. Or at the very, very bottom, I gave them an option that said, I'm just here for the gift basket. And so a lot of the people could then choose, hey, no, I don't want any information. I'm just here for the gift basket, and that's that. And to me, that it was kind of a huge piece of it because I don't want to call everyone who signed up and ask them if they're interested in buying or selling. I would rather just talk to the people who are actually interested, or,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. So for me, that little piece is very important just because I needed to figure out who really needed the information and kind of give them that option up front. So, when I was going through this, the things that I found that kind of worked the best were giving clear instructions on how to sign up and who could sign up. Kind of the timing as well. I felt like giving it some time to build, and I was trying to add a new business every day just to kind of keep the excitement. And so every day I could share like, oh, this business has joined us now, and that sort of thing. Um, so I ran it for 15 days and then I gave away the basket 5 days before Christmas. So it was kind of that excitement, and everything. Um, as far as things that I feel like I would kind of improve, I think I would probably ask some more qualifying questions just to kind of get a little bit more of an idea who the people are. This time I asked them if they were homeowners or future homeowners, which really kind of helped me narrow down who I was talking to as well. And I felt like that was really good. But I feel like there could be more qualifying questions that maybe would help me determine kind of, the quickness, the word is escaping me. But anyway, the kind of the quickness of how I should respond to them, like what their timing is, that sort of thing. Um, so anyway, so with this, um, oh, and I would also ask for the address of the property for home values. So there would be kind of like a breakout maybe for, if you answer this question positive, then we need to, ask another question kind of thing. Um, okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of go through the steps of how I created it, and then I'll show you like my Google form and stuff like that. Okay,
Can I
so
ask a couple questions?
oh, absolutely.
Did you find that most people filled that out for you?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Yeah,
Good.
I
Do you think it's something you could use as an opt-in every day?
I feel like you could. Yeah. I think it kind of just depends on how you do it. For me, I chose, to have it for a set period of time, but you could do, like repeating, I guess, giveaways or something like that.
I was just thinking, like, even because of the market that you're in, it's like such a great way to like interested in buying or selling a home this year, and then have all these little pathways for them to click into and opt into your email list. So I was just going, oh, that's cool. That could be actually reused, you
I
know?
love it. Yes, I love that idea. I have been so with the anxiety and everything, it's been so hard for me to get out and kind of be social a lot. And so this kind of has created a pathway for me to reach more people and feel more involved, than just kind of hiding behind my computer or something.
Mhm.
Although I did completely hide behind my computer for a virtual gift basket giveaway. Not really, because I actually talk to businesses and stuff too. So
Right. It feels like, and this is something I've gone through as well, like once you're in your lane and you know someone's interested, you're good. And you can just like speak the speak. But just cold calling that, whatever we've made that mean in the head. Like it just takes a minute to get better at that. Like I used to have a fear of going into like networking groups or rooms, and I used to make myself, and it would just be like because you had to like talk. But it's so funny that as you do a little bit more, it just gets I don't know if it always gets easier initially, but the flow of it gets easier, if that makes sense.
I think it does completely. I've had so many opportunities to be in rooms, and I've gone from actually being diagnosed agoraphobic to, going like I did in April by myself, to Phoenix. And it's so empowering, but there's still those fears that are kind of stuck, sometimes. And you're like, okay, I just have to get over this thing now.
Totally. It's possible though. It's just so good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, I digress, but go ahead. Thank you. I was just curious. That was my big curiosity.
I love it. Okay, so the steps for kind of going through this process. The first thing is really to set a goal and kind of try to determine what it is you're looking for. If you're looking, to grow your email list, that's great. What's your goal for that? If you're thinking, okay, I want to book some calls or, some appointments, that sort of thing, if that's your goal, kind of what are we looking for, and then looking at our audience as far as who they are that we're trying to reach, and what problem they have, and what solution do I have to solve that problem. And for me, I feel like almost everything, the answer is education, at least in real estate, but I feel like that's kind of a constant in business, right? We have to teach them about what we're doing or how we're doing it differently, or even just who we are, that kind of sparks something in someone else and like, "Oh, I need that." So so I really look at kind of the problem as the answer for everything. That's where the cheat sheet, and like I asked them, all of those questions. I gave them options to choose from, like the cheat sheet and the home value and foreclosure and house hacking and our off-market deals, and just where do I even start. And it really kind of opens everything up for conversation, because then they can see themselves kind of in, they can see an answer for themselves. So so that's kind of where we start. What The next question that I always ask is, what would make them raise their hand, and kind of what's in it for them. Those are like the two things that I always look at. Why would I say yes to this, and what's in it for me? And when I look at that, it helps me come up with the answer, and it kind of helps me just look at what everyone else is potentially looking for in this. And it takes it out of my brain and makes me imagine someone else, I guess. So I always think that that's a good thing. um so the next bit of it is kind of creating an irresistible offer, but the way that I'm looking at that for a gift basket giveaway would kind of be a theme, or any kind of giveaway. If it is a photographer, maybe that is a kind of a photo session or something like that. The things that we normally use as a lead magnet, basically. But how can we do it differently to kind of get people to be like, oh, okay, I need to, sign up in such and such time, and it kind of creating that urgency.
Mhm.
Okay. um Obviously, then after we kind of have looked at what it is we want to do and who we're talking to, and kind of created all the things, what I like to do is I like to have my emails set up before. So for me, I had my home buyer cheat sheet already prepared and an email to go along with that. Um, for home values, it was kind of the same thing, except I had to look up the people and kind of stalk them a little bit in order to find where they lived because I didn't think about asking that question. Um, so anyway, so from there, the way that I looked at it is we need to really promote this. And I really focused on Facebook because that's the platform that I feel most comfortable with. I did do some videos and just kind of inviting people to come and join, talking about the things that were in the basket, giving them tips on how to enter, that sort of thing. And then I used Google Forms for the capture of everything. I like it because it's obviously free and free is great in business, right? Anyway, and so the things that I collected as far as information was name, email, phone number, and I asked the qualifying question that I asked was if they were homeowners or if they were future homeowners. Um, but with that, it kind of gave me some information as well for kind of grabbing out the data later because it was like, "Oh, so let's see here, 54% of the people who signed up were homeowners." So I was kind of like, oh, okay. But then that also gave me information when they asked me for more information about buying. If they're homeowners and they're wanting to buy, that means they're probably going to sell or rent out their properties. So, it kind of gave me an in with more information that I could send them to be more helpful.
Do you think that you would put like on there as well? Because like for me, I do transformational work and then I like to have their birth date because I'll do numerology. Maybe not always, but I don't want to have to go, oh, hey, by the way, right?
Right.
So the state they live in, do you get that off of their area code, or would that be something like you were mentioning earlier where you just have it on the form?
I think I would put it on the form just so that it's really easy. That was one thing I was
Worry
considering.
that way, right? Like for you, I'm just thinking like if I was in the business of dealing with different areas of real estate, that would be useful.
Exactly, and that was one thing that I was considering doing was putting on there just like, "What's your zip code?" So then I
Mhm.
could kinda sort people out a little more that way too.
You
Um,
could probably though, right? Like look up um, location per area code, like state per area code. Does that?
yeah, I would think so. I mean, in my area, it's mostly because it's localized, I guess, as
Yeah,
far as real estate. There are in my area is crazy, but anyway, there's a lot of different zip codes and everything, so it is a good idea for this purpose, to ask for that information just to kinda separate it and get an idea where.
I love that. And I'm just going to share something because it's something I experienced last year when I did a giveaway. I have a lot of followers in different countries.
Oh,
And so one of my winners was in Canada, and it cost me more to send the prize to Canada than the actual prize value itself. So just when you're online, you never know. I mean, this year I had Nairobi in Kenya because I had visited, it was just funny to see where that comes from. And I just thought that's worth a mention, just to be aware that it could be some shipping if you're doing some physical things that aren't local, right?
right, right, and I think that that's really a good point because if you're doing a virtual giveaway or something like that, and you are spread, across the world with your business, and your audience, it would be a very good idea to kinda narrow that down or just kinda get that information up front so that you're kinda prepared for it.
Yeah. I was thinking of that when you were like, and what do you want to offer? And I'm like, well, it's so nice to do physical things, but also in that instance, if that's like the information we know about, right? The querying information, perhaps sessions or something in my case would have been a little bit more useful. So I'm always mindful of that, but a gift basket, like you said, can be created of a lot of things just depending on what's relevant to your people, your work, and your line, which I thought that was really powerful. So
I love
take it for what you will.
I love that so much because it is. Everything that I put into the form, I tried to have kind of a thought process behind it, you know? And I mean, the form is very simple, so it's not crazy or anything like that, but it's like, okay, what information do I need to have in order to get them what they want, you know, and that sort of thing. And so it's powerful to ask the right questions, you know, to get the information that you need to best be able to help them.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so as far as following up, that is kind of the next step in, you know, the process, obviously. One of the things that I tried to do was send a personal thank you after each entry. That got a little ugly. Like, I hate sending emails, so I was like, "Okay." And then I tried to send them as kind of group emails, and I don't think I got kind of the same response as sending personalized emails. So that's where, you know, obviously a CRM or something like that would be really useful. But this Christmas season, it was all about doing this for free. So the Google Forms and, you know, sending out emails by hand was the way of it. Um, I like afterwards, I really liked the idea, I kind of came up with it a little I felt like a little too late, but I started thinking it would be really cool to offer some sort of a runner-up giveaway, you
Oh,
know, and kind of continue to engage those people who didn't win after the fact. So, you know,
my brain gets going. It's like, oh, you could do a New Year's surprise. Those of you who have been entered, we're having a runner-up drawing, or just to engage them again, which would be cool.
exactly, exactly. When I kinda, like, started thinking about that, I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, you could do so much with that, right? And then people would be excited again, like you said, and it would be a way to keep the ball rolling kind of and get
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
so
Good job. I like that.
I love it. Thank you. So, I did prepare a worksheet to kind of go through all of these things, and I'll send it to you so that you kind of have the framework.
Yeah.
Um, yes, and then one of the well, I did kind of mention it. I like to have the emails prepared beforehand because and I put them all into my Google Drive. So I had like the cheat sheet and then the email that went with the cheat sheet.
Oh, nice.
The only other thing that I found that made my brain overthink way too much was when people selected multiple, and I wanted them to be able to select multiple, but then from there kind of categorizing and figuring out which thing to send when, it was the only other thing I didn't really give thought to beforehand. So,
Mm.
like, if someone asked for 6 different things, the first at first, I was like, "Okay," and I got all happy and sent them all 6 things, and I'm going, what if they don't even look at the first thing?" You know? Like, it's not gonna be worth it to them. So then I decided I needed to space it out and send, like, the first thing with a video kinda saying, "Hey, you know, thank you," that sort of thing, and I recorded the video and then put it into YouTube so I could see the count of how many people were actually watching it. Um, it didn't I don't know if that worked like, I don't know if that worked because I think that it would actually they could push play, and I don't know that it would count on YouTube. So that was another little technical thing that I was like, "Oh, I don't know how that's working." But of the people who wanted to sell, I sent them a specific video, and with that video, I saw instantly that all 3 of the people in that day that I had sent it to had liked it or watched it, and I was like, "Okay, okay, we're good."
Do
So
you have a conversation with people when they do, like, so especially if they want to sell and you know that they watched it, are you like, hey, would you like to book a call? I'd like to go over more of these freebies that you wanted to see which would be the best applicable next. Was that something that you were
ex
able to do or comfortable with?
I sent some text videos because I was kind of wanting to ease them into it a little bit. So I was kind of like, okay, first I gave them their like home value kind of estimate, and then kind of followed up from there so that I had more to talk about. And then
Good. Did that continue to flow for you? That's really a good
yeah,
strategy.
yes. Sorry, my thing is telling me that anyway, it hates me. Um anyways, yes. So that was really helpful because it was kind of sorry. I am on the free plan.
No, it's okay. I just happened at that moment, I had things dinging in too, and I'm like, oh, my focus isn't turned off.
That was me too. I was like going, oops.
Oh, mm,
um
all is well.
yes. So yeah, so that's kind of how I went about everything and how I did it. I'm gonna show you, let me find it, make sure it's still up, my Google form
Okay.
so that you can kind of see that. And like I said, it's very simple and I really home for the holidays. Okay.
And I'm
Um,
not a real estate agent, so it's okay.
right, right. Okay, so let me share this now. Okay. So it actually, I don't know why there's one less entry than there was before, but there was 254 entries. At the top I put in as I was getting the new list, the new people who were donating, I kept adding them to this list here so that everyone could see, as they were signing up, like, oh, all of these people. Um, I had their email address. I At first, I had this set up so that it was automatically collecting them, and then I had some people who were like, "Oh, I don't have Gmail," and so it got a little weird, so I was just like, "Okay, we won't do that, we'll just let them put in their email
And that's
address."
pretty standard once you click Google form, like you expect it, which is okay.
Yeah. Okay, I put my beautiful card
Yay, I love it. Where are you located?
in Washington State.
Oh, okay. I'm in Northern California.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then name, phone number. Like I said, this is really pretty simple. Are you a homeowner or future homeowner? And then I basically gave them the list of things that they could ask for more information about. And at the very bottom is the none, I'm just here for the gift basket.
How
And
many of those did you get?
a lot, actually. Let me show you.
They're like, nope, I just want to give. But you
Right?
never know. Like, you never know. They might
Exactly.
be.
So we had basically I love it because it gives you the chart and everything so you can see the homeowners and future homeowners on here. So I love that. And then here was the breakdown kind of
Oh, wow.
of what everyone wanted. And
Yeah.
I felt like that was really good too because it gave me information on what my market is looking for,
Mhm.
and it kind of confirmed that what I think is true, that education is really the biggest thing kind of in between people and getting started.
Yeah, like how, like, okay, I want to buy a home. It's very overwhelming. Who do I find? What do I do? So, like, I can see in your 38, 32, and 30, is it 36%, those little areas are
Yep.
telling you, yep, I'm first time home buyer. So you're finding the right people. And then this is where I could use the help. So that's really useful. I've never done it that way. That's cool.
And I like this because it tells me, like I said, it gives me the opportunity ugh, to I don't like the way I'm gonna say this, but to not bother the people who like
Mhm.
are like I'm just here for the gift basket. And I think that that's important to kind of respect that too.
Yeah, but then they're also on your email list and you can just nurture them the normal way you would.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing that now. Okay. So what I guess my next question would be what questions do you have, if any, about I mean, I know we've been talking as we're going.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess mine always comes up to the same thing. It's like, all right, well, when I'm doing coaching and
Mhm.
we're talking about how we're feeling and how we want to be, right? Like who we're becoming as we're moving to the next level, making more sales, wanting to get comfortable talking to people, whatever the things that we know are happening. It's not a, again, the words, but it doesn't always feel like a tangible
Right.
thing. And so my question always goes to, I love all these ideas. And I guess even I could create a list of like, what are you currently being challenged with?
Right.
I don't know how effective it would be, I guess, until you try it. But like, is it anxiety? Is it, wanting to make more money? Is it wanting to be healthier? Like, how would I set that up for my industry?
The way that I'm kind of thinking about this is maybe you would tie it to, an anxiety tip, like a sheet, right? Like, here are some things you can do to reduce anxiety, and maybe it's not going into the full, obviously, like, program and all the things you would teach them, but give them a little snippet just of, oh, here's some things, and so then you can kind of have a conversation with them
Mhm.
following up about that and, maybe next steps from there.
Yeah, I love that. A couple topics that came up through the last couple months is like work-life balance, which is interesting because that's like me long ago, and I know that it's just where you're seeing people nowadays too, because that has a desire for them. There's something they're missing somewhere. Um, and that goes along with it because there's usually people who love working so much that now they're distracted or disassociated a little bit from their other part of life where it
Right.
feels overwhelming, right? So
Awesome.
maybe those kind of topics, right? Do you feel like you have anxiety that you'd love to create ease around the work-life balance, the habits? There's all kinds of like surface things we could talk about when you're really wanting to create change.
Exactly.
Um, Again, I'd have to sit and really put some thought into it as far as like a giveaway and things, but I'm always curious what other people come up with.
One of the things that I would love to do if and this is my offer at the end. Basically, I'm willing to do, or not willing. I would love to do kind of a one-on-one just call, and we could sit down and kind of brainstorm specifically for you and your business. And then that way we can just figure out, what's next, what the best next step would be, and maybe even create a plan of giveaways, because that's after doing this, I had 34% say that they were interested in more information, and I'm, like, going, "Okay, how do you," like, I can't beat that. I used to do great with leads on just Facebook, but I can't beat that anymore. Like, people are not engaging the same as they used to. So
Right.
so this was really, I I felt successful in, getting people to engage and ask for more information.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Perfect.
Thank you. So what I'm gonna do is, I will, if it's okay with you, I can always send you in like a little blurb, of what it would include and everything. And then, if you would like, I would be more than happy to sit down and just brainstorm and figure out, kind of next steps and how we could implement something like that in your business.
Fun. Okay, perfect.
Love it. All right. Well, any more questions?
No, this is fun.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am so excited, and this was such a good experience, and it just opened me up to the idea of possibilities, being bigger than what I initially thought I could do. And so I just wanted to share this and just help other people kind of open their imagination a little bit and think of new ways to do things. So,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Good job.
Love it. Well, thank you so very much for being here with me, and, I will be sending you a message, and then if you have any more questions, you can certainly reach out to me.
All right, thank you.
Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.